It's Geekmas 2018, guys. We're going to have a ball talking about Christmas films all month long. Hello, devoted geeks, and welcome to Geek Devotions, the show from devoted geeks who are devoted to letting people know that they are loved. I am Dallas, and I'm so glad to have you guys on our show today. This is the beginning of Geekmas 2018, and guys, we are super excited about this month because we're watching some classic, great Christmas shows. I mean, some really, these are some of the stuff that you guys remember, and at the end of the month, we're going to have a special episode where we are going to be doing devotion based off a very special, geeky Christmas special that nobody likes. If you're interested in finding out what we did last year for Geekmas, well, we watched all the controversial Christmas movies and did devotions based off of them. Check out the card in the corner or link down below to see that playlist. But today, guys, we're tackling something controversial. Today, we're tackling something devious and evil, something penetrating the heart of society. At least that's what some people want you to believe. We're talking about Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. If you're unfamiliar with Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, it was a story originally written in the 1930s by a guy named Robert May. Robert originally wrote the story of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer as a giveaway for Montgomery Ward stores. It was later produced and turned into a song, and then of course the 1960s classic claymation animation, and it's a fun song, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, just full disclosure, guys, I am not a huge Christmas movie song person. I'm just not. But this is a fun song. It really is. And this song has been an iconic part of Christmas literally since the 60s and beforehand with the book, obviously. But I really feel like it picked up in history, American history, in the 60s with that animation that came out. And it is such a great story. Now, I know some people have issues with it because there seems to be some signs of bullying and stuff like that. And the reality is, yes, there is. But that's kind of the point, guys. You see, Robert May, when he wrote this story, it was one part autobiography. I can't say words today. It was one part written about himself, basically. And so when he was young, his parents, the way he was raised, he kind of skipped a lot of grades, and so by the time he went to college, he was a really small guy. He was really a little tiny guy, and so people picked on him, they made fun of him. So when he wrote the story of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, he was drawing on the experience of himself being bullied, but finding purpose in the world still. And guys, that's kind of what I want to talk about for this episode of Geek Devotions, because as geeks, we're often the outcasts, aren't we? We're the ones that are kind of on the fringe of society, that we're picked on and we're kind of mocked for the things that we enjoy, the things that we partake in, and people don't really understand. And so we find ourselves like the characters in the movie, a bunch of misfits. And sometimes we strike it out alone, leaving society, trying to do our own thing. Why? Because we feel like society's abandoned us. But here's the deal, guys. Even though you're a misfit, even though I'm a misfit, we have purpose. We have something important in life for us to accomplish. And the reality is there are things that need to take place that can't happen unless you're there to take care of them. I'm kind of reminded about the history of Moses, which we can find in the book of Exodus, which is in the first 5 books of the Bible, often called the Pentateuch. And actually was probably written by Moses himself, so that's pretty cool too. But in the story of Exodus, we find that Moses really is a misfit. He lives in a country where his people were outcasts, and then he's adopted by the ruling party. He's raised in a place that's not his own. And then when he gets older, he discovers that he is different, that he's not one of the Egyptians, but he is actually one of the Hebrews. And then he has this internal struggle. He's realizing he doesn't fit in with these people, and in a crime of passion, he ends up murdering somebody. That wasn't good. But he takes off and he runs away because he's scared of the repercussions of his crime. And so now he's in the wilderness, and now he feels like another type of misfit. He's just this wanderer where he doesn't really fit anywhere. And then he finds his own people even. And in that first several years of his life, you can imagine he feels like a misfit there. Why? Because these are his people, but for years he has not been their people. You know what I'm saying? He's lived a different life, and he just doesn't know where he's fit in, and all these other things. And yet, even so, he was monumental in God's plan. he was literally used as a pivot point for the history of all of the Jews. The Jews look back at Moses and they call him Moshe Rabbeinu, which is the title Rabbeinu from my understanding. And if there's anybody here watching that's Jewish, please help me out and correct my understanding with that. It's like this level of rabbi. They hold him in esteem. Like this is like the upper level echelon of rabbis. Like they really see him as one of the most important individuals in the history of Judaism. But they look at him as this guy who, man, he made a change. He literally helped. He literally led them out of Egypt. He led them out of bondage. And we discover more of this story during the Passover season, obviously. But it's such a great aspect for when we're talking about Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Why? Because he was a misfit all the way through. And yet God used him to do some of the most amazing things recorded in the scriptures. I know for me, I've felt like a misfit at many times in my life. As someone who grew up with a deformity and didn't fit along with a lot of the kids that I lived with who were very athletic and very sportsy. I don't fit along with people who are real big into the quote-unquote macho things where they're out and they're hunting and shooting things and living in nature and hiking and stuff. That's just not my thing. And even still, even within geek culture itself, we make misfits out of each other. It's like, hey, we're into anime. Oh, but you haven't seen this show, and so therefore you're not a true fan. Or, oh, you don't watch it in subtitles, so therefore you're not a true fan. What's wrong with us, guys? Why are the misfits making misfits of other people? We need to chill out with that. But that's another conversation for another day. The reality of things is this: even though we've been through all this, I've been through all these things. I sit in ministers' meetings with other pastors, people who have been in ministry for years and years, and I'm like, wow, I don't know how to talk to you guys because you guys just seem like on this upper echelon, and they look at what we do here at Geek Devotions, like, oh, this is kind of a weird ministry. Yeah, it's kind of weird. We like it. But even still, I know that God has used me in different ways. Maybe you watching this, man, you've been encouraged by just the fact that God uses misfits, and you're like, wow, can God use me? Yeah, he can use you. Those things give us life. It really does. Every so often, Celeste and I will get emails or messages from people and just letting us know how they appreciate what we've been doing. And we really appreciate that, by the way, because it's hard sometimes doing this. Week in, week out. Why? Because we're the misfits, right? And but it's good to know that you're wanted. And the reality of things is this. For you right now watching this, you're wanted. God wants you so badly. He loves you so much. He cares about you tremendously. So much so that he sent his son Jesus to die on a cross for you. He loves you so much so that he knew you before you were born, and he's like, you know what? There's some great things I have for you. If you'll walk under my grace, if you'll walk in the submission of my son, you're going to accomplish some amazing things in life. Things that some people may not ever know or understand. And there will be things that you do that literally nobody else could do. And that's amazing. Rudolph was the only one that could have helped people in that moment. His expertise with his shiny red nose. He was the only one that could do that. And that's awesome. And when that happens, when we start walking in our anointing, when we start walking in our calling, when we start walking in our giftings to benefit the world, to benefit the kingdom of God, guys, things change and people's mindsets about us change, and they go, wow, that's pretty cool. That's really neat. I know this episode's going kind of long, but I want to share just one really quick story about kind of the starting of Geek Devotions, where Celeste and I felt kind of like misfits, and we're like, we were at a banquet, and we were talking with some people, and there's the slide across from us, and we're just talking about different ministries that we're all involved with, and so we talked about this really exciting thing that we were going to be starting. We didn't quite have a name for it, but we're going to be taking geek culture, pop culture things. We're going to be taking comic books, movies, video games, and we're going to take those and we're going to funnel them through the lens of Christ, basically. And we're going to use those things to let people know that they are loved. And she's looking at me, and she goes, why would you do that? Like, I don't see the point in that kind of ministry. I don't see the point in doing what you're saying you're doing. And that hurt. Like, we had even started, almost killed what we were doing right there and then, almost 3 years ago. But we didn't stop. We're like, no, this is what we know God's called us to do. Yeah, we're different. We see things differently, but it's okay. God's going to use us. And so we did. So my encouragement to you guys is, don't let those around you who mock you, who make fun of you, stop you from doing what God's called you to do. Walk in the anointing that God has for you. Walk in the giftings that He has for you. And do something amazing. So for our question of the week, it's simply this. What is your favorite Christmas film? Leave your comments down below and let us know your answers. Celeste, you got one real quick?
I have several because I really enjoy Christmas movies. He doesn't necessarily, that's not really a thing for him, he doesn't mind them, but I think I have two that I can think of instantly, and one is Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah.
And then the second one is The Santa Claus with Tim Allen.
Very cool.
That is my favorite.
There you go. I like Nightmare Before Christmas also. Also a big fan of Batman Returns and Die Hard, all of which we talked about last year and during Geekmas 2017. Again, carded up in the corner. If you want to see devotions based off of those.
Literally every Christmas movie we just mentioned.
Yep.
I didn't realize that till just now.
That's what we did last year.
That's right. They were our favorites. All that being said, we want you to have a Merry Christmas and a Merry Christmas season because that's kind of what the next month is. Try not to get stressed out by the shopping and the listing and the naughty and the nicing, and just, enjoy it.
Yeah. Have fun with it, guys. So that being said, we're going to be sending out a very special Christmas card via email. And if you want to get that via email, check out the link down below to sign up for our newsletter. Also, don't forget to check our website, geekdevotions.com, because on our website, on the front page, there's actually a link for you to sign up for our newsletter right there. So, that's a thing.
It's a thing.
It's a thing.
It's a Christmas thing.
Dun, dun, dun. Also, don't forget to check out this past week's episode of The Extra Tuesday, because our friend LJ Lowry from Geeks Under Grace took over and he did another devoted gaming episode where we take a look at the really cool games coming out this month. Maybe some stuff you want to put in somebody's Christmas stocking. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So check it out. And also don't forget that next week we have a really special Extra Tuesday because our friends from Retro Rewind Podcast are taking over for a very special Extra Tuesday episode. Alright, well that's all we have for you guys. Again, check out all of our social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, Geek Devotions.
So that being said, stay devoted.
Peace and love.